What's up guys, Meredith with ExtremeTerrain.com, and today we are checking out the AMP Research Power Step XL running boards fitting all 2021 and newer four-door Ford Broncos. Now this set of steps will be a great addition to your build if you not only have the extra cash to spend on a more luxurious way of getting in and out of your Bronco, but you want a well-built step that's also going to give your Bronco some protection in the meantime. Now with the rock rail style and the step design, these are going to be a great pick for the Bronco owner who wants a 2-in-1 for complete looking protection for lighter to moderate off-road adventures, while also having the convenience of a flip-down step for whenever you need it. Now these are going to be great for the large 3-inch drop that they offer when the doors are open, giving you and your passengers a very supportive step up into the Bronco, whether it is stock, lifted, level, or just has bigger tires on it. These will also have a 6-inch wide step. The surface is going to be completely treaded from front to back, and it's going to have a very gritty finish to it to resist any slip from wet or muddy shoes. Now what I also like is that they do have included LED lights, which will illuminate the step and help you getting in and out of the Bronco at night. Now when the doors are closed, however, these steps are going to tuck in and resemble a rock rail covering the pinch weld, which is going to add a very finished appearance to the side, not having that pinch weld exposed. But these are going to have a very boxy and heavy duty appearance to them, and again, we'll be able to take any lighter hits off-road or on-road to protect the rocker of your Bronco. Now the 2-in-1 design here is really going to allow you to drive with confidence, knowing that the side of your truck is protected, but you also get that added luxury of the flip-down step for whenever you need it. Now you can expect these to have a very well-built construction with a 6063 marine grade aluminum build, which is going to balance strength and weight incredibly well. They're going to be pretty lightweight compared to other heavy-duty flip-down or heavy-duty powered steps, but they also are going to be durable. Now this kit will come with an integrated bracket system. These are going to be heavy-duty as well. They'll have stainless steel pivot pins, which not only are going to be very tough, but they're going to resist any weathering over time to maintain a long and a solid construction. And these will have the ability to support up to 600 pounds, which is very notable for a side step. Now on top of the aluminum, like I said, these will have a gritty finish to them. That's going to be an anodized PTFE coating. It's going to be a military spec black. So not only will it protect the aluminum from corrosion, it's also going to give you that extra traction and, of course, the heavy-duty look that you may be looking for. This will also come with absolutely everything needed in the kit in order to install it. You're getting high-quality Bosch motors here. Also, a full plug-and-play, mainly wiring harness. You're going to have to do a little bit of wiring with the OBD2 plug as well as the lighting, but that's very simple, and we'll show you how to do that in just a minute. Like I said at the beginning of this video, these are more of a luxury choice and will come in at roughly $2,300. Now, while they're pricey, they do come with a little bit more than the other cost-effective choices too, considering the rock rail that's going to offer that additional protection and coverage for the pinch well in addition to the more heavy-duty appearance. Now, I personally think if you are set on getting a set of powered steps and you want the additional benefits or bells and whistles and some other choices are able to give you, and you do a little bit more with your Bronco than just drive it on the street, and you want to make sure that they're protected while also getting that luxury, these are going to be a great choice for you. Now when it comes to the install, because this is pretty long and in-depth and does require a little bit of wiring, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. Now if you do have some experience though, it should only take you about 4 hours to get the job done. The wiring here may be simple, but it does have a lot going on as far as the install. However, at this point we can head over to our shop and check out a detailed breakdown of the install, whether you are going to tackle this job at home yourself or you're just curious about how to install them. So that is going to wrap it up for my review. Let's go ahead and jump into it.
First install, you'll need a heat gun, 3/8 ratchet, a 3/8 extension, a 15, 13, and 10 millimeter socket, 3/16 Allen wrench, 13 millimeter ratcheting wrench, wire connectors, wire strippers, wire crimpers, diagonal cutters, a 3/8 impact, and zip ties. All right, today we're going to be installing some side steps on our Bronco, so let's get started. All right, now we're gonna start by attaching our harness. So we have our positive and negative lead that will go to our terminal. First, we're going to take our fuse out of our harness here that it comes with. Now you wanna take the fuse out because on the harness, when it's hooked up to the battery, there are open wires. You just don't want anything to short out or pop that fuse. We'll put that back in after we get done installing it. So first, we're just gonna connect our positive to our positive and our negative to our negative. All right, so we're gonna start with negative, so we're gonna take this nut off here. And we'll put our wire over and reinstall our nut. All right, and then we have our power. So you can see there are a couple extra studs here. We're just gonna go to our spare one. We just have a spare 10mm nut that fits, or you can just go underneath one of these. It's the same thing. Tighten that down. Close that back up. While we're here, we can attach our harness to our module. Just make sure you have this oriented correctly. You will see the flat edges. Plug that in, and then this one. All right. Once you have that secured, you can mount this however you want. We can come back and zip tie it after we run the wires. We have our longer section that's gonna run across the front of the firewall over to the passenger side, and our shorter section is gonna run down the fender liner. All right, now on the driver's side harness, you will see a branch off of 2 wires here. These 2 wires will go through the firewall to the OBD port. So there is an access plug with the wiring harness right next to the brake booster. It's gonna be difficult to see, my hand's gonna block most of it. We're just gonna push it out of the way, push these 2 wires through. We'll pull them through the rest of the way once we go inside. All right, just feed it through most of the way. Like I said, we'll pull it through after. All right, now once you ran that through the firewall, we're gonna take our harness for our driver's side. We're gonna run it down the same area, but we're gonna run it down the fender liner so we can pull it out the bottom. All right, and then you can also zip tie it to secure it to the wiring harness here or however you would like. Now we just need to run our passenger side harness across our firewall down to our passenger side. So we're gonna run it here. We're gonna grab some zip ties, zip tie it to this wiring harness and bring it across. All right, so we're just gonna take some zip ties, zip tie it to this harness. Take a pair of diagonal cutters and just cut off the excess. Just work your way across. All right, and once you get to this side, you're just gonna run it down the fender liner, secure it if you want, and just pull it down throughout the bottom of the body, same you did on the driver's side. All right, now we just need to do some wiring before we go inside of the cabin of the vehicle. We just have to put a couple connectors on. Now we have to hook up to a module on the driver's side footwell. Now ours already has a T-tap on it from previous installs. T-tap, this clamps over the wire, and then this spade connector slides into the end of it, like so. So we just need to put a couple spade connectors on this blue and white wire. So the wires are already pre-stripped. All right, so we're gonna get our wire, slide our connector over, get our wire crimpers and crimp that down. Same thing for the little blue wire. All right, then we have our two larger wires. These are going to get connected to the wires that went through the firewall. I just want a little bit more wire, so I'm gonna grab my wire strippers, strip them back a little bit more. All right, I'm just gonna connect one side of the butt connectors here, and then we'll do the other side in the car. Grab our crimpers. And same thing for the other wire. All right, now we're gonna go inside to our module on the footwell. Now the module is tucked up there and hard to see. We have it pulled down right now just so you can see a little bit better. We'll show you where it gets mounted to also. So we're gonna hook up our two smaller wires to two wires on that module. There is a purple with an orange stripe and a gray with an orange stripe. The blue will go to the purple and the white will go to the gray. And then we just have our other two wires that we ran through our firewall. We're gonna connect to the other side of these butt connectors. All right, so we're gonna take our two wires, and you see our module here. We have our gray and our purple. So we're gonna take our white and go to our gray. Plug that in. And take our blue wire and go to our purple. All right, then we have our other two wires that we ran through the firewall. We're gonna strip these back real quick. All right, then we're gonna connect our wires. You'll see one has a black stripe. Just match up the wires. Grab our wire crimpers and crimp them down. Same thing for the other one. All right, then we can plug this into our OBD port right here. We're gonna put our module back up in place, and then we're gonna tuck up and zip tie these wires out of the way, make sure they're not in the way of anything moving. All right, now we're gonna go underneath the side of the vehicle. We need to mount our brackets up. So we have our driver's side front and our driver's side rear. Just make sure you have the right ones because they are a little bit different on the other side. All right, now we're gonna mount our front bracket. It's gonna go up like so. We have our two mounting bolts. Going to thread in. All right, now we're gonna grab our impact, a short extension, our 15mm socket, and tighten them down. All right, now we have our rear bracket. It's gonna go here. You're gonna see the two bumps in the frame. That's where it's gonna be located. It's gonna probably be hard to see. We're gonna thread our 2 bolts in. All right, once we got them threaded in, we can grab our impact, short extension, and a 15mm socket and tighten down our bottom one. All right, as for our top one, it's probably gonna be hard to see, but you just gotta get up here with a ratchet and your 15mm socket and tighten that down. All right, now we have our next piece which we're gonna put on. This is the rock slider or guard over the steps, whatever you wanna call it. We just have our 6 captive bolts that are gonna go in this channel here. So we're gonna slide them through. We're gonna slide all 6 through for either side. All right, so 2 on either side will mount to the 2 brackets that we installed. The middle 2 are for our light mounts. Now this is the bottom here, so our light mount will go over like so onto our captive bolts. And we're just gonna grab 2 of our nuts and just thread them over for now, and we'll tighten them once we get them into the spot that we want. All right, put your bracket like so, and thread your nut on. All right, now we can install this onto the vehicle. All right, now we can mount this onto the vehicle. You're gonna have your studs here, go through your brackets, and then you're gonna have your nuts on the back side. There's 2 on either bracket. It's gonna be hard to see. I'm gonna lay under the vehicle and just get them in place. They do move, so it's just a little bit tricky. All right, now once you have them threaded on, you're gonna be able to move this front and back and get it adjusted where you want. So we're gonna go underneath and tighten it with our ratchet and 13mm socket. All right, once you get it adjusted where you want, you have a ratchet 13mm socket, you tighten our bracket down. The one on the other side you're not gonna be able to see. Then figure out a good spot for your light. Right behind the bracket's good. Just tighten that down. You can do the same thing in the rear. All right, now we're gonna mount our hinges. The front hinge is a little bit different. It just doesn't have the motor mount on it, but they do mount the same. So it's gonna come over our bracket, over top. We're gonna grab our bolts with our washers already attached and then thread them in through to the hinge. Do that in 2 spots. All right, now you'll see a threaded portion on the front of the hinge up here. You're gonna have your small 10mm bolt, also your spacer. Your spacer is gonna go in between your hinge and your bracket. You're not gonna be able to see me threading this in, but it's threaded into this portion right here. We're gonna grab our ratchet with a 13mm socket and tighten these 2 down. All right, and we'll grab our 10mm socket and tighten our bolt with our spacer down. All right, now you can mount that rear hinge, the one that the motor attaches to. All right, now we're gonna mount our motor up to our bracket. If you just need to get the gear lined up to itself, you just can raise and lower the bracket here. But you're just gonna get everything lined up. All right, then we're gonna get our short 13mm bolts, thread them in here, and the other one up here. All right, for the bottom one, we can grab our ratchet and 13mm socket and tighten that down. For the top one, since it's a little tight up here, we're gonna grab our 13mm ratcheting wrench. All right, now we're just gonna get our harness and zip tie it up out of the way. There's this factory harness that runs all the way across, which is perfect to zip tie to. So just gonna start in the front and work your way backwards. All right, you can see there's gonna be a little bit extra. So we could just bunch it up, zip tie it up out of the way. All right, then we're gonna take our diagonal cutters, just cut off the excess. All right, now we're gonna plug our connector in. You'll see the channels here. It's not gonna push on, it's actually gonna slide on from the back. So we could do that, like that. Then we have our cover. You'll see our cover here. It's gonna slide in like so, once you get the cover on. Put that into place. And then you'll just need to move this along the wires so that you can get it in the right spot. Slide it into the channel. And we have two plastic push clips, one here and one on the back side here that you might not be able to see. I'll put that in. Push down to lock it in place. All right, and you can zip tie this up more if you need to. All right, so now we're gonna wire up our lights. We have our harness that's attached to the vehicle. We're gonna strip back the red and black wire. We have our supplied butt connectors. We are going to put them over, clamp them down. All right, now we have our light. There's a little hole in the bracket. We're gonna feed that up through first. All right, these are already pre-stripped. So we're just gonna match up red with red and black with black. All right, now since these are exposed to the elements, they are heat shrink connectors. Or grab a heat gun, or you can grab a butane torch or even a lighter. If you're careful, just heat them up so it can shrink down to the wire. All right, once you have that done, you're gonna pull the red covering over the double-sided tape on the back of the light. Feed the wire all the way through and adhere it to the bracket here, like so. All right, then, if you need to, just zip tie this extra wire up, and you go ahead and do the same thing to the back light. All right, now we're gonna get ready to put our steps on. So you'll see these two brackets on the bottom of the steps. That's what our screws will thread into. So the screws are gonna go up through the bottom, through the bracket, into the step. You're gonna see this groove here. It's actually gonna lock into these two slots on the edge of the bracket. Now it's gonna be pretty hard to see. I'm gonna be laying down under the car and just moving these around and threading them in by hand. So let's do that now. All right, once you get them all threaded in by hand, you're just going to adjust it front to back, make sure it's in the proper spot. Then we're going to go underneath, use our 3/16 Allen wrench and tighten them down. All right, we'll tighten down our front two. All right, I'm gonna do the same thing for the back too. All right, now you go ahead and repeat those same steps on the other side for the brackets, the cover, and the step. All right, now we're just gonna reinstall our fuse into our harness and we should be good to go. All right, install our fuse, put our cover back on, then we can close our hood. All right, now wraps up our install of our AMP Research PowerStop XL running boards for a 2021 and newer Bronco 4-door. And remember, for everything Bronco, keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.